you're going to be here today, right? Everyone's really looking forward to seeing you here since it's been such a long time now. They all want to see what kind of horrible wife you've become after spending all that time avoiding everyone here.
Why would you say something like that? Have I done anything wrong?
I'm just speaking the truth is all. We all know that you don't care at all about your in-laws and that you'd rather be off on your own, only taking care of yourself, right? But thankfully, I am a very kind and thoughtful mother-in-law, which means that I'm going to forgive you for all of that. And to make sure you understand just how kind of a woman I am, I made sure that today everyone would be eating high-end filet mignon. And that's why all of my family is really looking forward to this gathering and to seeing you here. Since you're Brandon's wife, you're going to be filling your stomach up on all kinds of high-end salts, all right?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you never seem to be able to take a hint. You're nothing like the rest of my family, all right? It would be a waste of money letting you eat some of the finest meats that I can buy. So the only thing a stranger like you will be eating today is the steak salts that everyone else could care less about.
Really? Did you just call me a stranger?
Yes, I did. A terrible wife like yourself means nothing to my family, and that's why we can't even think of you as part of us. Ugh, why did my son ever end up marrying a woman like you in the first place? Besides, the fact that his wife is completely useless, he's a perfect man.
Is that right? Then forget about your allowance.
What?
If you're going to say that I'm not your family or anything anymore, then there's no reason for me to really be sending you any more money.
Huh? What are you talking about? To me, you're nothing more than a stranger, but to you, your in-laws should all still be considered your family. That's just common sense, right? So you have the responsibility as my son's wife to keep that money coming to us.
I completely understand your way of thinking, Patty, so please allow me to go and have a word with Adam about this.
Sure, go ahead. But that's not going to change anything for you. That boy will understand my way of thinking completely and won't let you get away with such a lawless action. Anyway, you'd better be at this family gathering today, May.
Adam, where are you right now?
I just finished up getting some things from the grocery store, and I'll be on my way home. What's going on?
I was just texting with your mom a second ago.
My mom, huh? I'm sure this isn't going to be good then, right?
Well, she started off by asking me if I'd be making it to the family gathering today. But then soon after that, she made it very clear to me that I'm not considered family to her.
Huh? She went that far with you now?
Yeah. She told me that to make her family all happy, she went and bought a bunch of really expensive filet mignon. But since she doesn't see me as a part of the family, the only thing I'll be allowed to eat is the steak salt.
Do you want to just stay home from that stupid event?
Honestly, I really don't want to go to that stupid event. But if I don't show up this time, then things will only become worse the next time around, right? I was being honest this whole time about having to work all the time and never being able to attend those gatherings. So this time I should actually go. I think the reason she said something like that to me, about me not being a family to her, is because I haven't been going out to see anyone recently. Maybe it was just meant as a joke or something.
Well, if that was meant to be a joke from her, it was not a very funny one. But if you're saying that you'd like to go this time, then I guess we're going. I myself haven't really been going home to my parents all that much recently. I'd like to go see them and check on how things are going there.
Check on how things are going? Just in general?
You know better than I do that there are plenty of things wrong with my mom, right? I want to go and check to see if she's been telling the truth at all to the rest of the family, or if she's still hiding all her problems. In the past, lots of people have been hurt by what she was doing, so I just have to make sure things aren't getting bad again.
Is that right?
Well, I guess today we're really heading over to my parents' house then. But if there's anything that makes you want to go home while we're there, let me know right away. Then we can get the heck out of there.
Mary, you really have no guts, do you? Getting picked on by your mother-in-law is something you need to deal with as my son's wife. What were you thinking showing up here today only to turn right back around and leave like that? Are you trying to make me look bad in front of the rest of my family?
I never thought that you'd actually have a plate ready for me at the dinner table filled with nothing but garlic salt. Everyone else had a nice steak and vegetables on their plates, yet I had nothing more than salt and a shot glass filled with water. What you've done hasn't only pissed me off, but it's upset your own son now as well.
And when Adam starts to get upset like that, your job as his wife is to make him settle down, right? You really are so useless, always blaming others for your own faults.
Could you tell me why you always have to treat me like this, Patty?
Well, there's not any kind of deep meaning to it, actually. I just happen to not really like you at all. I had made such a fine young man, and you came out of nowhere and completely ruined him. I don't want some thief like you becoming a part of my family, so why should I have to cater to you when it's so much easier just to treat you like said thief? Also, the reason my son never comes around his own parents anymore is because of you, right? Who is the real menace to this family, I wonder?
I do apologize for all the times I've not been able to come out to see you all, but all of those times I had really been busy with work and could not afford to leave that work behind. However, just because of that, you've gone and treated me like a complete stranger? Actually, much worse than a complete stranger. And now you've just gone and done it in front of everyone else in the family. I really don't want to say something like this to you, Patty, but that money you're being given every month is the money I've worked countless hours for.
What was that? So now you're going to try to play the victim here? The only reason I gave you all that salt was because you've been getting a little plump lately. You should be very thankful that I was so thoughtful today, yet for some reason, you don't seem to care at all for my thoughts on your figure.
Well, if that was really the case, then why salt of all things? Wouldn't that only make me fatter in the end? Ugh, I'm done with this, Patty. It seems that no matter what I say, no matter what I do, your way of thinking is not going to change.
Would you stop trying to play things off like I'm the one in the wrong here?
Since you're no longer going to view me as part of your family, I'd like you to stop contacting me from now on. So please leave me alone. If you ever need anything from us or have something to say, bring it up with Brandon.
Oh, running away from us again, I see. Well, that's totally fine with me. As long as you keep that money coming to me, I won't say another word to you. Excuse me, this month's allowance has still not entered my bank account at all, not even $1. Did I forget to mention to you that it is your responsibility to be sending me that money each and every month since you're Adam's wife? If you're not going to keep up with your responsibilities, then I'm going to have you divorced from my son.
Now, this is just what I remember, but I believe that last time I told you that I'd stop sending you money from now on, right? Or did I perhaps forget to say that to you?
I don't ever remember you saying something like that to me. And had you, I would most definitely have said no to that.
Let me ask you something, Patty. Could you please tell me why exactly I have to keep sending you an allowance each month? Because I don't quite remember what the reason was, if there even is one.
You don't remember? My reason is because you're my son's wife. And your primary job as his wife is to shut up and listen to what his mother tells you.
Then can you please explain to me why over time you've been asking for more and more money from me?
What?
At the start you were only asking for around $400 a month from me. But over time you continued to ask for more and more until it came to around $1,500 a month. Do you really need that much money from me?
I told you this already. There are still some payments left over on the loan we took out when we had part of the house reformed. And with my husband's income only, there were parts of our life that we felt a little uncomfortable because we were so close to not having enough money.
I heard that reason from you before, but are you really only using this money I'm giving you on paying off that loan?
What are you trying to say?
Well, it's just, ever since I started to send you money each month, you've become more and more outgoing and overbearing. Also, you've been trying so hard to not let your husband know anything about the money I'm sending to you. You must have another reason for why you need this money from me, and one that would upset your husband very much if he were to find out, right?
There's no reason like that. But you never say anything about this to him. You still understand that, right?
Well, that's too bad because I've already brought it up with him.
What did you just say? I have told you again and again not to say anything about this to him. You really are completely useless to me.
Well, let me just say, it wasn't me that went to him about all of this. He realized that something was up and came to me asking some questions about it all. He said that he noticed how much more flashy your choice of clothing had become and wanted to know from me if there was anything going on with you. He then said to me that if there is anything going on between you and my family regarding money, to let him know about it.
So, then, you told him about that allowance?
I did. It's the truth, after all. And then, after telling him about that money I've been giving you, he started to tell me some things that I had no idea about. There has never been a point this whole time your husband has been paying off that loan where you've handed him any money to help pay it off. So let me ask you one last time. Where is that money I give you every month going? You lied to me about that helping pay off the loan, all so that you could milk all that money off me, right?
Recently, I've been wondering why he's been so cold around me. So this has all been because of you, huh?
Don't start blaming me for your issues, Patty. Anyhow, I'm not going to be sending you any more money for the time being, as I do not support you going out and wasting it on things that are not related to your husband in the house.
So you have no idea what could happen to you by turning your back on me and not listening to what I've said. I'm going to make sure you and Adam are no more. No matter what it is, this is all your fault. I've now gone and lost my son, who once loved me more than anyone else. And now a lot of people in my family are no longer talking to me and will only roll their eyes when I try and talk to them. Had you just stayed in line, never complaining about anything I was doing and listened to me, none of this would be happening. How dare you cause my life to fall into ruins?
Patty, you're still whining about how all of this is my fault? So none of what Adam was telling you about actually made it into that thick head of yours?
Huh? I don't want to hear any of that from you now, especially since you're the bitch who went and took everything from me.
Honestly, Patty, shut the hell up. I am utterly tired of listening to you go on and on about how this is all my fault and that you could never be responsible for making everyone want to hate you. Do you still think that I know nothing about the kind of indecent witch you are deep down? I know about all the things you did to your son as he was growing up, and I have to say it really pisses me off thinking that I still have to talk with you.
What? Tell me what was so bad about the things I did that you'd be pissed off with me. All I did was act like a good mother and raise my boy into the man he is now. I will not let anyone complain about the things I did for him.
Well, that's too bad, because I'm going to complain. I'll have you know that I frickin' hate people like you. People that think they can just use other people and abuse other people and steal from them when they gain something you want. You must have no idea what it means to have some frickin' dignity, do you, Patty? My mom was the same way, as a matter of fact. One massive bully that I never wanted anything to do with but was forced to live under for years. Whenever I did something amazing, she'd always say it was because of her. She would always tell me to listen to what she says, no matter how ignorant and wrong it was. And when I messed up, she would tell me I was no good and that I was embarrassing not only her, but everyone in the family. You and my mom both seem to mistake your child's love for your own, and that's so upsetting to me.
I completely understand what your mother is talking about and feeling.
I'm sure you frickin' do. Both of you share that same single brain cell. I'm sure neither of you have ever thought about your own kids, have you? And that's why your own kids have had to fight for their life to fix their ways of thinking. It took me years to get over the fact that I was more than my mom's puppet, and that my wants and needs mattered too.
The only reason you ended up having issues like that in the first place is because you're not good enough for this world. Maybe you needed to grow a pair and actually live up to your mom's expectations.
Well, I'm sure you could say something like that, but that's totally fine. Here's how things are going to end here. Patty, you're going to be kicked out of your husband's house, so please begin preparing yourself for the big move out of there.
Huh? What do you mean I'm being kicked out of his house?
Your husband is planning to divorce you now, Patty. And as everyone seems to recall, it's your husband that owns that house, right? So that means after the divorce, you will no longer be allowed to live there anymore.
Wait, why do I have to be the one getting divorced here, and why do I have to be the one getting kicked out of this house?
You don't know why? Interesting. Because from what I'm aware of, you have been using all the money I've sent you to lavish yourself. You've also used some of it to get yourself a younger boyfriend, right? You also ended up borrowing some money from a loan shark because I wasn't giving you all you needed to afford that lifestyle.
I was planning to pay it all back. So you can't call that money borrowed. I'm not in any debt.
Oh, so there's no excuse for you paying another man to take you out?
That's because to me, I'm not actually paying him to go out with me. He and I are in love now.
Honestly, I can't tell if that's a joke or not, but that's not my problem. How about you go and tell your husband about that now and see what he thinks of it? I'm sure he'd love to find out that you're in love with a younger man you've been paying to take you out now. Anyway, your husband has also noticed some of your shared money being used up, so he's made sure to count that all up as well. And he's going to make sure you pay him back that amount.
No way! Arya, can you please do something to set my husband straight? I'm sure if you go to him saying that what I've done wasn't all that bad, that he'll listen to you and stop trying to get this divorce.
Oh, have you forgotten already? I'm not your family. You said it yourself that I'm nothing more than a complete stranger to you. So I'm sorry to say this to you, but I am not that kind of a stranger. I know some are willing to do a lot for others that they don't know, but I don't have that kind of heart in me.
No. What should I do here then?
Well, I think the first thing you should start to do is find yourself a new place to move to. How does that sound?
Can you at least get my son to think about cutting ties with me? My husband is going to throw me away and my own son wants to cut ties to me.
Brandon is the one who decided that he doesn't want you as his mom anymore, so I have no right trying to say anything to him about that choice. Now, it's getting to be that time where I need to head back into work. Don't talk to me ever again, Patty.
Please, just listen to what I'm saying to you. Do something about this, please.
After Patty divorced her husband, her life took a downward turn. She lost her home as her husband forced her out of the house. Left with no place to go, Patty clung to the hope that someone in the neighborhood might take her in, convinced of her charm and believing herself to be an exceptional woman. She began knocking on doors, asking her neighbors for shelter. However, her past arrogance worked against her. Patty has always been the type to flaunt her son's accomplishments, treating him like a trophy to showcase at every opportunity. This behavior has earned her the disdain of nearly everyone in the neighborhood. On top of that, rumors about her personal life circulated among the residents. Many knew about the man that she had been paying to date her and the romantic feelings she harbored for him. These revelations only deepened the animosity towards her. Consequently, no one wanted to offer her any help or even engage in a conversation about her plight. Faced with rejection from everyone, Patty realized she couldn't stay in the area and decided to leave. Desperate, she turned to her family and returned to her parents' home, a place she hadn't visited in nearly a decade. Her arrival, however, was met with suspicion. Her relatives were wary of her sudden reappearance and questioned the reason behind her divorce. Due to their curiosity, no one confronted her directly or sought an explanation. Instead, they kept their distance and regulated her to living in the basement, isolated and humiliated. Patty withdrew from the world. She stopped seeing the young man she had once claimed to love and chose to shut herself in, rarely venturing outside. Meanwhile, my own life with Adam has improved significantly. With less stress, I've been able to refocus my energy on work, which is already paying off. I'm on track for a promotion, and Adam is also striving for a similar advancement in his career. We've both been busy with our jobs and haven't spent much time at home lately. However, we have a shared goal. Once we're both in stable, higher positions within our companies, we plan to slow down and focus on starting a family of our own. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Keith, can I ask you something? Why are Bailey and her 5 kids running wild in our guest room?
Oh, Heather, what's wrong? Didn't I tell you? When I mentioned that our honeymoon would be at a luxury hotel in Jamaica with a suite, Bailey's kids got really excited and insisted on coming along. And of course that means Bailey had to come too. So I booked them an additional room at the same hotel.
That is not what I'm asking about. My question is why your childhood friend and her 5 kids have joined us on our honeymoon, a trip that's supposed to be just the 2 of us.
Oh, that! They wanted to come along, so I thought, why not? I figured it'd be fun for them. Right now, they're having a bit of fun in our room just for the experience of seeing a suite. But don't worry, they're not actually staying in our room. They'll be in a separate one, so relax.
Excuse me, what?
Hey, come on, even though Bailey's my childhood friend, she knows not to interrupt our honeymoon nights together. I mean, Bailey's considerate like that, you know?
If she were truly considerate, she wouldn't have tagged along on our honeymoon in the first place, especially bringing 5 poorly behaved kids along with her. This is beyond inconsiderate.
Whoa, poorly behaved? That's a bit harsh, don't you think?
Harsh? Just look around. The bed, which was neatly made, is now a disaster. The flowers on the vase are all over the floor, and there's water spilled everywhere. Not to mention, they raided the minibar, with juice and snacks all eaten up and wrappers scattered around. The mess is so bad we'll have to call housekeeping to clean it up. I can only imagine what the hotel staff will think when they see this chaos. It's downright embarrassing.
They're kids, Heather. You can't expect them to be perfect. Cut them a little slack.
Cut them slack? Leaving this mess is just irresponsible, and you know the hotel won't just turn a blind eye to it. Someone needs to teach them what's unacceptable behavior, and I'm pretty sure that big wine stain on the carpet is from Bailey herself. This isn't just about being considerate. This is definitely going to get us a warning from the hotel.
Oh, come on, it's our honeymoon. Relax a little and don't stress over every detail. Having my childhood friend and her 5 kids along for the trip makes things lovely, don't you think?
Keith, let me ask you something. Are you deliberately trying to make me angry?
What? Why would you think that?
I see now. You genuinely haven't thought this through, haven't you?
Oh, speaking of which, since Bailey has 5 kids, you can imagine the cost of travel is high for her. She's been wanting to take a break from parenting and have a chance to unwind, so I told her that we'd cover the costs and help with looking after the kids. You don't mind helping out, right? It's good practice.
Excuse me? What are you expecting me to do here?
Think of it as a chance to practice looking after kids, you know, for the future.
What? You're actually expecting me to spend our honeymoon practicing by taking care of someone else's children. Have you completely lost your mind?
Hey, Bailey isn't just someone else, she's my childhood friend. She's practically family.
Well, to me, she's just another person and a stranger at that.
If you really hate looking after the kids, you can always go home, you know. Just kidding, just kidding. Hey, come on, this is Jamaica. Let's just make the best of it and have a great time all together. Hey, Heather, where'd you go? You know, the dinner reservation time has already passed, so, well, it would have been a waste to just cancel it, right? I ended up having the meal with Bailey instead. Hope you don't mind. Just kidding, kind of. But seriously, it almost feels like Bailey and I are on a honeymoon of our own. Isn't that funny? Come on, Heather, where'd you run off to? Hurry up and get back here. You know Bailey's kids are still here and they need someone to keep an eye on them. You don't really have much time to relax, do you? Hey, Heather, are you serious? Get back here already! Bailey's 5 kids who you're supposed to be helping with are completely out of control! At this rate, neither Bailey nor I can enjoy this honeymoon trip.
Oh, so now it's practically you and Bailey's honeymoon, is it?
What? No, of course not, but it's your fault this is happening. You're the one being stubborn and refusing to come back. And Bailey? She's just being a good friend by keeping me company since my wife decided to disappear on our honeymoon.
Let me get this straight. You're blaming me for not wanting to put up with a honeymoon that includes someone else's kid. A friend you invited along without even asking me. The fact that you and Bailey are enjoying yourselves without questioning how strange this all is, that's just mind-boggling to me.
Listen, just come back, okay? Bailey's kids are, honestly, a handful, and it's too much for us to manage on our own.
Actually, I've already gone home.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
You really haven't noticed that my suitcase wasn't in the room.
What? Are you kidding me right now? So you're actually back home already?
Yeah. Last night, I stayed at a 24-hour fast food joint and took the first available flight home this morning.
Are you out of your mind? What were you even thinking?
What do you mean?
I mean the payment! Bailey's room and her 5 kids' rooms were all part of the bill! I covered the whole amount up front, figuring you'd pitch in later to pay me back. Right now my wallet's totally empty. And obviously I expected you to cover any additional expenses at checkout. I don't even have spending money left for myself.
So you just assumed that I'd be covering all of that? Look, for one, you never even told me Bailey and her kids would be joining us. And on top of that, my budget is nowhere near big enough to fund this whole fiasco. That hotel charges a minimum of $300 per night. Sure, kids cost less than adults, and the cost per person might go down if they're all in the same room. But still, you can't seriously think I'd pay Bailey and her kids' travel expenses for absolutely no fucking reason.
That's what I thought you'd cover as a thank you for the parenting practice you'd get with Bailey's kids.
I never asked to practice parenting in the first place.
What, don't you want kids of our own?
Excuse me?
Think of this as a dry run, you know, a practice session for when we have our own. It's a good chance for you.
Are you seriously bringing this up now?
Well, you're gonna have kids one way or another, aren't you?
Whether or not that's true, it's still absurd to practice parenting by looking after someone else's children without any preparation. Does that really sound normal to you?
What's wrong with that?
Let me spell it out. Expecting someone who has no real experience in child rearing to practice on actual kids is like treating them as some kind of experiment.
Wait, what?
Think about it. Don't you know why childcare is a profession that requires certification and training? It's because people with no knowledge or experience shouldn't just jump in and practice on real children. Just because we're not hiring a certified caretaker doesn't mean it's okay to impose this on someone who isn't prepared.
Wait, really? It's like that?
Yes, and while some parents might dump their kids on others without a second thought, that doesn't make it okay. If Bailey is that kind of mother, then I suppose this whole situation starts to make sense.
Heather! Hey, about the money, can you send it over quickly?
What?
Didn't I tell you my wallet's completely empty? I was just about to check out of the hotel thinking I'd finally head home, but then they hit me with all these additional charges for other services. When I asked for a breakdown, they explained that Bailey's been going wild with all sorts of hotel services, spa treatments, room service, everything, and somehow it's all being billed to me. I don't know why I'm on the hook for Bailey's expenses when I thought you'd be covering what she spent on this trip. So yeah, please, I need money.
Keith, I've been thinking about this for a while, but don't you think you're a little too comfortable relying on someone else's wallet?
What? We're married. Isn't that totally normal?
It is absolutely not normal for you to expect me to cover expenses for Bailey and her kids.
Can we not get into whose wallet should cover what right now? This isn't about that. The fact is I can't check out of the hotel as things stand, and I desperately need money right now. Please, just send it over already.
Why don't you just withdraw some from your own account or use your credit card?
I didn't bring those with me.
What?
I swear, I thought I had brought everything. I was so sure I'd packed my card holder. You know, the one with all my cards, including my credit and debit cards. I could have sworn I put it in my travel bag, but then when I looked, it wasn't there.
Oh, this?
What?
I thought this might be what happened. So I checked around your dresser, and sure enough, I found it on the floor.
No way. Seriously? Come on, Heather, please, just send me some money. I'm really stuck here.
If you mean a bank transfer, that's impossible without your bank card, right? And since I have it here with me, that's a no-go.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Either way, I don't have any intention of sending you money for this.
Ah, this really is a dead end.
Well, if you think that's a dead end, you're about to hit an even bigger problem.
What? What do you mean?
I got a message from Bailey's husband.
Huh? Bailey's husband?
Yeah, apparently, he reached out to my contact info through your mom. He wanted to ask why they were suddenly 2 more kids. He left 3 behind when he went overseas. And now, 4 years later, after being unable to come back even once, he finds out there are 5.
Wait, he's back in the country?
Yeah, from what I heard, he made an emergency return. He heard something suspicious from a mutual acquaintance.
Wait, emergency? You don't mean...
Yep, he wants to discuss why 2 extra kids popped up out of nowhere in his absence, and he asked me to meet him with my parents for a little talk.
Oh, hey, wait!
And after that, I'll be heading straight to my parents' house. Consider me gone.
Damn it! Now I've had to ask my parents to send me cash in an envelope just to get home! And then, as soon as I managed to make it back, I got scolded hard for taking Bailey and her kids on our honeymoon!
Are you still planning to lie about this?
What?
So, here's what I think happened. You planned to secretly bring Bailey on our honeymoon, right? But then unexpectedly, she showed up with 5 kids in tow. And while you thought you could just take her around Jamaica without me finding out, the whole thing took a turn when Bailey found out we were staying in a luxury suite. She didn't like that you only booked her a cheap room, so she decided it wasn't fair and stormed into our suite, with all her kids in tow. And when she barged in, surprise, surprise, I was there by myself and your little affair was exposed on the spot. After that, I guess you figured you might as well just dig in and act oblivious like, why can't I bring my childhood friend on our honeymoon? Pretty shameless, right?
How do you know all that in such detail?
Bailey's husband hired a private investigator. I pieced it all together from the investigator's report and what I personally witnessed that day. And judging from the look on your face, it sounds like I hit the nail on the head, didn't I?
Seriously?
Oh, and by the way, they're moving forward with DNA tests for Bailey's children, I hear?
Yeah?
And you've been asked to submit your own sample for the test too, haven't you?
Yeah?
I think we both know what at least some of those results are going to reveal. But either way, we're still moving forward with the divorce, so there's no going back for us. An attorney will be in touch soon to discuss the details. They'll handle things from here.
Heather, wait!
From now on, just go through with my lawyer if you need anything.
No, hold on, just let me...
I really don't have time for this, Keith. Goodbye.
Heather!
To begin with the conclusion of the DNA paternity test, it has been confirmed that, indeed, of the 5 children, the 2 younger ones are Keith's biological children. Keith and Bailey, despite having no romantic feelings for each other, have found themselves entangled in a web of circumstances that have led to this unexpected outcome. Over time, they have developed a relationship that, while not based on love, has included moments that might easily be misconstrued as such. Even while both we were engaged in other relationships, their interactions with one another had certain intimacy that was difficult to define. They have gone through periods of time where they maintained romantic relationships with others' partners. Yet, they also have a repeated pattern of behavior that could easily be labeled as crossing boundaries. The recent results of the DNA test have forced both of them to confront the reality of their relationship, something they may have previously brushed aside as mere friendship. As a result of this startling revelation, it appears that Keith and Bailey feel compelled to marry, not out of love or passion, but out of the necessity and the overwhelming sense of duty they feel towards their children. This decision to enter into a marriage is not taken lightly. It comes with the understanding that they must now face the consequences of their past actions together. The idea of marrying someone with whom they do not share a romantic connection is foreign to many, yet in this case, it is a practical solution to a complicated problem. However, the financial ramifications of their union are significant and daunting. They are already facing a barrage of claims for damages and child support from various parties, including past partners and family members. These financial demands have placed an enormous burden on them as they struggle to navigate their new reality. It is clear that the weight of these responsibilities is pushing them towards a life of severe financial hardship, as the costs associated with raising their children and managing their obligations seem overwhelming. Prospect of living under such a financial strain is not only stressful but also demoralizing. They've found themselves in a situation where the very choices they made, choices that they thought would lead to freedom and happiness, have resulted in a life that can only be described as impoverished. The ramifications of their actions are hitting hard, and it is evident that the financial burden of their choices is something that they cannot easily escape, in addition to their own challenges. The situation regarding the children is equally complex. It seems that their respective grandparents have taken the initiative to discuss custody arrangements among themselves. These discussions are crucial, as they ultimately decided which children will be taken in by set of grandparents. This kind of arrangement is often fraught with its own set of complications, but it is necessary for the children's well-being. It is hoped that these grandparents will provide a stable environment that prioritizes the needs of the children during such a tumultuous time. The well-being of the children is a paramount concern, and there is a collective hope that they will not become entangled in the difficult lives of their parents that they are leading. The reality is that they could easily become casualties of their parents' mistake, facing challenges that no child should have to endure. It is a significant concern that they might be negatively affected by the dysfunctional relationship between Keith and Bailey, as well as the financial turmoil that ensues from it. The hope is that the grandparents can serve as stabilizing figures who can protect the children from the fallout of their parents' decision. When one reflects on the complexities of Keith and Bailey's relationship, it becomes evident that what started as a simple friendship has evolved into something far more intricate. Their connection, which lacks the romantic foundation typically associated with marriage, has been shaped by love, betrayal, and the responsibilities of parenthood. They might not have been intended to create a family under these circumstances, but the reality of their situation is undeniable and now has to be faced head-on. Moreover, the societal implications of their relationship are significant. In a world where traditional family structures are often idealized, Keith and Bailey's situation invites judgment and scrutiny. Many will view their decisions through a lens of moral righteousness, harshly critiquing their choices and the implications of their actions. They have inadvertently become representatives of a modern dilemma faced by many young couples: how to navigate relationships, responsibilities, and societal expectations without falling prey to the judgment of others. The financial strain that Keith and Bailey are under cannot be overstated. Many young couples find themselves caught in a web of financial difficulties, especially when they are unexpectedly thrust into parenthood. The obligations that come with raising children are often daunting and can feel insurmountable, particularly when the parents are unprepared for the reality of their responsibilities. As they prepare for their marriage, they must also come to terms with the reality of their financial situation. The notion of marriage, while traditionally viewed as a union of love, is for them now more about survival and stability. They are entering into this new chapter of their lives with the understanding that they must work together to overcome their challenges ahead. This does not mean that love cannot develop between them over time, but the initial motivation for their union is clearly rooted in practicality rather than romance. Meanwhile, the children, who are the true innocents in this situation, will have to navigate the complexities of their family dynamics. Growing up to be in a divided household can have lasting effects on children, shaping their perceptions of love, relationships, and family dynamics in ways that are often difficult to quantify. It is essential for the grandparents and other family members to create a nurturing environment where the children can feel secure and supported amidst the chaos. It is crucial to recognize that the children will likely experience a range of emotions that they process their parents' relationship and the resulting changes in their lives. They may feel confusion, sadness, and even anger as they come to terms with the reality of their family situation. Providing them with emotional support and reassurance will be vital in helping them adjust to the new circumstances. The involvement of the grandparents is a positive step toward providing stability for the children. With the loving and supportive figures in their lives, the hope is that the children will be shielded from the negative impact of their parents' choices. It is a difficult journey for everyone involved, and the path forward will require careful navigation. In the end, the hope is that this situation serves as a cautionary tale for others who might find themselves in similar predicaments. Relationships can be incredibly complicated, and the decisions made in moments of passion or confusion can have far-reaching consequences that last a lifetime. Keith and Bailey's story is a reminder that it is essential to approach relationships with caution, to consider the potential outcomes, and to think critically about the responsibilities that come with love and companionship. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward in seeing you in the next one.
Mom? Oh, Megan, what's going on?
I'm going to ask you directly. Is it true that you've been mistreating Avery?
Huh? Avery? You mean Jason's Avery, right? Mistreatment? That's not possible.
Oh, I'm not saying you definitely did it. Jason came to me furious, saying Mom's been mistreating my dear wife terribly. He was really upset. What? The kind, gentle woman I know would never do something like that. I can't believe it. That's how I felt when Jason told me. But even if something like mistreatment is happening, I can't just assume it's you without knowing the full story. Maybe there's something going on with Avery, too. I couldn't just ignore the possibility that she has her own issues in the situation. So instead of staying confused and upset, I decided to just ask you directly what happened.
I see. Well, thank you for not just blindly believing Jason's one-sided story.
So, did something happen? It's only been 2 months since you started living together, right? Mom, what happened?
I can't forgive Avery.
You can't forgive her? For you to say something like that, it must be something serious.
She's been throwing away everything that reminds me of your grandparents and your father.
What? She threw away those keepsakes?
Yes, things that belong to your grandparents and your father.
What? Not just one thing, but several items?
Yes, that's right.
Wait, so that includes things like the fountain pen your dad inherited from your grandfather? The one he's always treasured?
Yes. Even though I don't really use the fountain pen anymore, it's a memento I wanted to keep. I kept trying to explain how important it was to me, but she just wouldn't understand. And instead of apologizing or even acknowledging it, she said, "Do you have proof I threw them away?" While I was out working part-time, Avery was alone at home. Almost everything that disappeared during that time has to have been her doing.
So there's no physical evidence to prove it, right?
But despite being a stay-at-home wife, she doesn't help with the housework at all.
Wait, Avery's not working? She asked to live together so she could save up for a house of her own, right? I've heard she doesn't help with the housework, but she's actually calling herself a housewife while doing nothing?
The other day, I couldn't help but say to her, a little sarcastically, "You're great at throwing away other people's memories, but you never do any cleaning." I think that's what Jason's been hearing about, which is why he's so upset.
Wow, seriously? I should hear Avery's side of that story too, but I agree that I should have had solid proof before confronting her. At this point, it's just too much.
Oh, and after dinner tonight, I realized I needed to tell you, but the books you left at my house for safekeeping have all been thrown away as well.
What? I was planning to pick them up when I moved next month.
I guess she thought they were mine because I'd put them in my closet. I never thought she'd go through my closet, so I'm sorry about that.
Well, let's hear Avery's side of things before jumping to conclusions. Avery, good evening. Are you free right now? Oh, Megan. Jason told me that you've been complaining about how your mother's been treating you badly. I'm really wondering what's been going on. Oh, that's right. Can you listen to me for a moment? I don't want to speak badly of your mom, but it's just gotten so bad that I want you to know what's happening right now. What's going on? Well, you know I'm a stay-at-home wife, right? So I've been working really hard at the housework for my in-laws. I even did a big cleaning just the other day, but your mom kept complaining, saying I wasn't doing it properly, but I was doing it. Honestly, I think she's just saying these things because she wants to pick on me. When you say big cleaning, what exactly do you mean? I mostly cleaned out old, ugly stuff that I'd never use and the books that were shoved in boxes in the closet. But even then, she's complaining. Doesn't that just scream mistreatment from her? You have to say something to her. I bet if she knew her own daughter found out, she'd stop acting like this. By the way, did you call a recycling collection service or something for all of it? Huh? In your area, isn't Wednesday for non-burnable trash, Monday and Thursday for burnable trash, and Friday there's no garbage collection? Your big cleaning, based on what Jason was complaining about, must have happened on Friday. And since today is Sunday, that means the garbage collection hasn't come yet, right? Oh. Well, I don't think that's related to the mistreatment, though. Well, I guess not. Never mind. Oh, I just remembered. I was thinking about checking out a flea market app. Huh? I check it out regularly because sometimes I find good things. Right now I'm looking for a fountain pen and some reference books. Oh, I see. About what you just said, I'll talk to my mom first and see what she has to say. Oh, okay, thanks. I really appreciate it. I found several other items being sold from the same account, too.
It was being sold?
Yeah. I thought I should report it to the app administration, so I was just about to do that, but just before I could, the listing got canceled.
Right before?
When I went to the account's main page, it looked like they were in the middle of canceling all the listings. The number kept going down, and in the end, there were no items listed anymore.
Oh, no.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about someone else buying it now. Oh, and I took a screenshot, so I have proof.
That's a relief, but so it was Avery, huh?
Probably. The account name was a name similar to her real name, and the background of the listing photos seemed to be the wallpaper from her house. And then, right when I mentioned that I checked the flea market app regularly and was about to look, the listings got canceled.
I see. So now we just need physical evidence.
Yes, we need to find where the stolen items are now and dig a bit deeper to understand why Avery went as far as to steal and try to sell them.
So what should I do next?
Mom, do you have your part-time job tomorrow morning as usual? If you don't stop anywhere, you can be back in 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, I work from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., so I'll leave the house at 7:30 a.m. and get back at around 12:30 p.m. It'll be the usual schedule.
Can you take the day off suddenly?
It's not a busy period, so I think it'll be fine if I call in the morning and let them know.
If my guess is right...
Do you have a plan?
Well, yeah. Since both you and Jason will be home tonight, it'll be hard to do anything. So after both of you leave for work tomorrow, that'll be when it's our chance.
So tomorrow morning, when Avery will be home alone?
Exactly. So I need you to act like you're going to your part-time job as usual and leave the house. After that, we'll meet up. I'll pick you up at the first corner after you leave. Oh, and I'll rent a car so nobody gets suspicious.
You've really thought this through.
Speed is crucial for these things. All right, that's the plan.
Got it. Megan, good morning. I've just left the house.
Good morning, Mom. I'm already at the corner.
Got it.
Avery, good morning. Megan, good morning. Is there something you need? Something I need? Oh, that's actually my line, you know. Huh? I thought if anything was going to happen, it would be when my mom and Jason left for work and you'd be alone at home. But I never expected that while your family was out, a strange man would be coming and going into your house. What? I haven't done anything like that. You can come over right now. There's not even a trace of anything like that left.
Well, today you were just coming to pick up some things, weren't you? It's just that yesterday was so recent. So I thought you'd skip today's fun in case anyone might suspect something, which I assumed was your reason for skipping. Is that what's going on?
Wait a minute. You're imagining all these terrible things about me.
I'm not imagining anything, Avery. This is real.
How can you be sure of that? Are you planning on helping with the bullying too? I'll go straight to Jason with all of this.
Well, your boyfriend was seen coming out of your house carrying stolen items that had been hidden somewhere inside.
Huh?
My husband restrained him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, my husband. Do you remember him?
The mixed martial artist?
Oh, don't worry. I didn't let him get hurt, and no punches were thrown. Our 6'10" tall, muscle-bound man just gave him a little glare, and the guy immediately confessed everything.
He confessed? Wait, what do you mean?
He admitted that the stolen items had been cleverly hidden in your room and that the entire thing was about trying to get money for cheating dates and trips with you. It was all about funding those activities.
Wait, this can't be true.
Also, we've been keeping an eye on your parents' front door, so trying to run away now would be pointless.
Keeping an eye on them?
Yes, we've had your front door under observation, so even if you try to escape, it won't work.
But how did you know about the items? How did you find out about all of this?
Plus, we've also identified your flea market app account.
You're kidding, right?
It's not a joke. We even took a screenshot before you canceled the listings.
How did you find out?
Well, when I was casually talking about checking the flea market, you suddenly rushed to cancel the listings. It was at that exact moment when I happened to catch you in the act of removing them.
But my account doesn't have any proof.
I'm pretty sure one of the items you listed was a fountain pen. That pen, which belonged to my grandfather, was passed down to my father and then to my mother. It's a custom-made, one-of-a-kind item created by the craftsmen of the time.
One of a kind? I don't believe it.
The design is so unique, I knew it immediately when I saw it in the listing photos.
You didn't recognize the brand, but it was that item, wasn't it?
There were also books in the cardboard boxes in my mom's closet. Those were books I had temporarily stored at my parents' house to prepare for my move next month.
Wait, really?
I've read those books so many times that I know every little scratch or stain on them. That's how I recognized them immediately when I saw the pictures you posted of the listings.
Those weren't your mom's things?
No, those were mine. They were temporarily stored at my mom's place while I was preparing for my move, and I was planning to take them with me. That's how I knew for sure when I saw them listed. It was the exact same set.
You didn't even recognize them?
No, and that's not all. I checked with Jason, and he confirmed that the account was yours. He found the computer was still logged into it when he looked.
Oh, well, I guess I must have forgotten to log out after using my computer when my phone's battery died while I was listing items. That's when my husband must have found out about it.
Yes, Jason went to work this morning as usual, but I left him a voicemail explaining everything. He said he'd check it in his free time. It's only a matter of time before he knows the entire story.
What is this? This is unreal.
Well, I think it's time we stop this little exchange. We've gone on long enough.
What do you mean, stop this exchange?
The reason I've been dragging out this conversation is that I've been buying time.
Buying time?
Yes, and now that your parents are arriving...
My parents?
Yes, they're here and they'll be taking care of things.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? I'm not going to wait. You've had your chance. Wait, what do you mean? Now, as I said, your parents are here and they'll be dealing with you shortly. No, wait, I can explain. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't do anything wrong. Please, listen to me. Sorry, Avery, but I'm not going to listen. This is done now. Wait, no, please. I'm sure you won't be able to run away. I've already made sure of that. You can't do this. Sorry, but it's already too late. Your fate is in motion now. We've got the evidence. It's over. You can't possibly. No, please, just hear me out. I've already given you the chance to explain yourself, but now it's time for you to face the consequences. There's nothing left for you to say. Your parents are going to be here shortly, and you won't be able to escape. Please, you can't do this to me. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I'm sorry, Avery, but there's no turning back now. Your actions have caught up with you. Wait, you're not going to tell my parents, are you? Please, I'll do anything. I'll fix everything. Just don't let them know. It's too late for that. Everything is already set in motion. Wait, no, please. I'll never do anything like this again, I swear. I don't want to hear it, Avery. The truth is out now. You've been caught, and there is no way around it. Your parents are going to find out. There's no escaping this. Wait, no, you can't do this. I beg you, don't tell them. Please, I'm begging you. I'm afraid it's already done. Goodbye, Avery. Wait, no, please, I can explain. I really can. Please, just listen to me. Sorry, Avery, but you've run out of time. My older brother, who had always referred to my sister-in-law as my cute wife in the most affectionate and possessive way possible, had a complete shift in demeanor once he discovered the affair. It wasn't just that he was hurt, but rather that the entire foundation of his trust in her came crashing down. His mood seemed to plummet immediately. You could almost hear the change in his energy. A sound like a sudden exhale or deflation of some inflated balloon. It was as if his emotions had hit rock bottom in an instant. Before this discovery, he was full of life, always glowing when he spoke about his wife, doting on her as if she was the center of his universe. His love for her seemed to be unshakable, and he was so proud of the life they had built together. But the moment the truth about her infidelity came out, everything changed. He didn't scream or yell, but his response was chilling in its calmness. There was a moment of stunned silence, and then, like a flipping switch, he switched into a state of cold, mechanical resolution. The affair was a devastating blow, and instead of wallowing in it, he took decisive action. My brother wasn't one to back down from a challenge, and this situation was no exception. With all the formality and precision one might expect in a business deal, he began the legal proceedings for divorce, filing the papers with a dispassionate determination. His focus was on the future, on what needed to be done, and the emotional fallout was something that had to be dealt with later. He didn't show any signs of seeking revenge or displaying bitterness, but there was an underlying hardness in his approach that told me how deeply wounded he truly was. The divorce and the claim for emotional distress were moving forward without delay. He was going through the motions as though this was just another task that needed to be completed, methodical, efficient, but utterly devoid of the warmth and affection that had once defined their marriage. What was once love was now reduced to legal steps and financial transactions, and that stark reality was evident in every document he signed. The shock of the affair was compounded by an even more troubling revelation: family theft. We learned that my ex-sister-in-law had sold off items from our family's inheritance. These weren't just random objects, they were heirlooms passed down through generations, priceless artifacts that carried memories of our ancestors and symbolized the rich history of our family. To think that these items had just been sold without a second thought, without even a whisper of consultation, was more than just a betrayal of my brother. It was a betrayal of the entire family's legacy. Unfortunately, the law wasn't on our side in this case. When it came to theft within a family, it turned out that there were no criminal penalties that could be applied. The legal system wasn't set up to punish family members for actions like this. It was an incredibly frustrating realization, as we felt this should have been a clear-cut case of criminal activity. But the law saw it differently. Instead, we were left with the option of filing a civil suit for damages, claiming compensation for the lost items that had already been sold. While it was a relief that we could at least take some legal action, it felt inadequate given the gravity of the situation. So my brother proceeded with the civil suit, focusing on the financial losses that had been incurred. But just as we thought we were getting some semblance of closure, something far more disturbing came to light. It wasn't just the affair and the theft, there were other crimes, other wrongdoings that my ex-sister-in-law had been hiding. This wasn't just a simple betrayal, it was a web of deceit that had been carefully constructed and kept hidden from everyone, including my brother. As the investigation continued, more secrets surfaced. The affair was just the beginning. There were debts that she had been hiding, even more significant financial issues that had remained in the shadows. It became clear that she had been playing a dangerous game all along, manipulating everyone around her for her own gain. She had lied, stolen, and betrayed, and it was only when everything began to unravel that the full scope of her actions became apparent. This wasn't just about marriage falling apart, it was about a person who had been deceiving everyone for years, and who now had to face the consequences of her actions. The more we discovered, the more it became clear that this wasn't just a personal failure, it was a criminal failure. In the end, it was revealed that my ex-sister-in-law and her lover had to bear the full weight of their actions. They were both responsible for the debts, the emotional damages, and the financial ruin they had caused. There was no escaping the fallout. They couldn't hide behind lies any longer. Everything they had done was exposed, and they were left to deal with the consequences. As for the compensation claims, it turned out that my ex-sister-in-law's parents had taken on the financial burden. Their daughter had caused the mess, but they were the ones who ended up paying for it. It wasn't clear whether they did it out of guilt, obligation, or some sense of family duty, but they stepped in and covered the costs of the legal proceedings, the alimony, and the compensation for the stolen heirlooms. It was a sad reality, but one that many families find themselves in when their children make poor decisions. My brother didn't ask for his help. He didn't want to be a burden on anyone else. But there was no other option, and so the financial responsibility shifted to the parents of both my ex-sister-in-law and her lover. Meanwhile, my ex-sister-in-law, who had caused so much chaos and heartbreak, was facing a different kind of punishment. The court had ruled that she would be required to work off her debt under strict supervision. She would be made to repay the financial damages she had caused through hard labor. It was a grueling sentence, but it was the only option available to her. She would have to live under constant surveillance, working day in and day out to pay off the debts that had piled up due to her actions. But even with this arrangement, it was clear that her life would never be the same. No amount of hard work could erase the damage she had done. She had ruined her marriage, betrayed her family, and lost the trust of everyone who had ever cared about her. It was unlikely that she would ever be able to rebuild any of those relationships, and even if she worked off her debts, the stain of her actions would forever remain. Her future was now uncertain, and she was left to face the reality of her actions that had sealed her fate. Her lover, too, would have to deal with the consequences. There was no escape for either of them. They had made their choices, and now they would have to live with them. While they might have once imagined a future together, it was clear that they would both struggle to rebuild their lives. The damage was too deep and the wounds too fresh for either of them to heal anytime soon. As for my brother, the emotional toll of the entire situation was something that he would carry with him for the rest of his life. He had once been a man full of love and optimism, but now he was scarred by the betrayal of the person he had trusted most. While the legal proceedings had settled the financial aspects of the case, the emotional scars were something that could never be erased. It was a painful journey, but one that he would have to walk alone. Looking ahead, it was clear that no one involved in this mess would ever truly move on. The betrayal, the theft, and the lies had left a permanent mark on all of us. While some may have hoped for a return to normalcy, the reality was that things could never go back to the way they were. Trust had been shattered, relationships had been broken, and lives had been irreparably changed.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Are you kidding me, Chelsea? Your car is in our parking spot again. How many times do I have to tell you to stop doing that? Well, good morning to you too. What's with the tone? Sounds like somebody got up on the wrong side of the bed today. Don't play dumb. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That is our parking space. We pay a good chunk of change for it too. You can't just leave your car there whenever you feel like it. What's the big deal? It's not like anyone was using it. I was only there for a couple hours yesterday, and maybe the day before that, and last week too. But that's not the point. Are you even hearing yourself right now? You've been parking there constantly for weeks. It's not yours. I don't care if it's empty. It's not available. But your husband's not even home, is he? Isn't he still out of town? I don't see the harm if it's just sitting there completely empty for weeks on end. That empty space is part of our lease. We use it when he's back. And when we have guests. And it doesn't matter if it sits empty for a week, a month, or even a year. It's ours. Wow, okay. I just figured, better someone use it than have it go to waste. It's not like I'm costing you any money by parking there. Oh, how generous of you. So now you're doing me a favor by stealing my space? Stealing is such a strong word. I'm just borrowing it. Neighbors help neighbors, right? Some people ask for a cup of sugar. Some people ask for help taking care of their pets. All I'm asking for is some help when I want to park downtown. Help? You didn't ask. You never ask. You just park like you own the place. That's not neighborly. That's disrespectful. What's disrespectful is getting this worked up over a slab of pavement. I mean, come on, Kalia. There are real problems in the world. Starving children, civil war, disease, poverty. Shouldn't you be more focused on those problems? Oh, don't you dare minimize this. You are repeatedly ignoring boundaries and acting like you're entitled to my things. Just because it's a parking spot and not a car doesn't make it free. Honestly, it's closer to the supermarket than my space. It's kind of perfect. You should try it sometime. I do, when I can actually use the space I'm paying for, which I can't because you keep squatting in it like it's your own personal valet zone. Yikes, you sure are dedicated to being feisty today. Look, I would move it now, but I've got an appointment in 20. Can we pick this up later? No, we're not picking this up later. You're done parking there. I don't care if the entire lot's half empty. You are not entitled to it. Sheesh, you don't have to be so territorial. I just thought we had the kind of relationship where we could be flexible. Guess I was wrong. Anyways, gotta go. Toodles! Chelsea, this conversation is not over. Unbelievable. If your car is still there when I get home, I am calling the property manager.
Hey, babe, how's everything back home? Kids driving you nuts yet?
They're loud, sticky, and somehow still alive, so I'd call it a win. You surviving out there?
Barely, but I've got news. Kind of big news.
Okay. Good big or bad big?
I'm getting transferred. Official word came down this morning.
Transferred? Wait, where? Oh, please don't say somewhere like Alaska.
Not Alaska, but not that far off. It's Minneapolis.
Minneapolis? That's halfway across the country. Are you serious?
Dead serious. They're opening a new regional office. They need people who know the systems inside out. I'm one of 5 they're sending to help get things running.
Wow, I didn't even know your company had plans for Minnesota.
They didn't. It's a new direction, logistics expansion. The kind of thing they hope turns into a 10-year operation.
10 years? That's not a transfer, that's a relocation.
Yeah, and they're asking me to consider bringing the family. And you know what that means. New house, new schools, the whole package.
Wait, they want all of us to move?
Yeah, and here's the kicker. They flagged your name in my file. HR saw you used to work for the company. They're assuming you'll understand the process better than most spouses.
Oh my God, of course they did. I helped them streamline one policy 5 years ago, and now I'm the poster wife for seamless relocation?
Could be worse. They're covering all of our moving costs. Plus, they're offering a housing stipend. It might be a smart change. We could be looking at better schools, a bigger house, and a safer neighborhood.
I mean, yeah, the kids are still young enough that switching school districts won't mess them up too much. But we'd have to sell this place, or at least rent it out, and I'd need to find a new job.
We'll figure it out. I was thinking I'd fly back this weekend so we can talk with both sets of parents. Get their thoughts, too.
That's a good idea. But just a heads up, the second I tell my mom we're moving to the snow belt, she's going to act like I've chosen exile.
I think she'll live. Barely.
You know what, though? If we do this, that means no more drama with Chelsea.
Oh, God, she's still parking in our spot, isn't she?
Some people just can't take a hint. I texted her about it yesterday, and she tried to act like she was helping us by using it. I swear I am one more incident away from calling a tow truck.
Well, one upside of moving, we cancel the lease on the parking spot. Let her fight the next tenant instead.
Honestly, it would have been worth it for that alone.
All right, so I gotta go now. I'll see you this weekend. Love ya.
Love you too. See you soon. Chelsea, I just got a call from one of my neighbors. You parked in our space again. Yeah, I did. Your point? You weren't using it, right? That's not the point, and you know it. This is not the first time I've had to bring this up. It's more like the 100th. That space is ours. We pay for it. You may not use it. It's just sitting there empty. I don't get why you're so obsessed with an empty spot. It's not like anyone's fighting me for it. You're fighting the person who pays for it every single month. Just because we're not in it 24/7 doesn't make it yours by default. Okay, but your husband's still out in Minneapolis or wherever, right? It's not like he's pulling into the driveway every night. I'm just saving myself a long walk from the metered lot. It's smart, not selfish. Actually, Jason's back in town now, so starting this week, that spot is in full use again. So whatever system you thought you had is going to end now. He's back? Wow, okay. But does he really need to park there every single day? I mean, there are plenty of other parking spots downtown. He can always pop a few quarters into a parking meter. Wow, gee, that sure is a great idea, Chelsea. That gives me an even better idea. How about you go and pop a few quarters into a parking meter? Are you kidding me and risk getting hit by the psycho drivers around here when getting out of my car? Oh, so it's okay for my husband to be exposed to that risk, but not you? You sound like a landlord or something. You're really gonna throw a fit over 6 feet of concrete? Yes, actually, because I am tired of asking you to stop touching what doesn't belong to you. God, you are so uptight. No wonder no one borrows sugar from you. You act like I broke into your house or something. For all intents and purposes, that's exactly what you're doing. This is the final warning, Chelsea. Stop parking in that space. Wow, it's about time you guys left that spot open for me. It felt so great to just slide right into that space like I used to. It felt like coming home again. You what? Oh my God, Chelsea, tell me you did not really park there. And why shouldn't I? You weren't using it, and neither was anybody else. That makes it fair game. Chelsea, listen to me. You really cannot leave your car in that spot, especially not now. Relax. It was wide open. If no one's using it, I don't see the problem. You don't see the problem? You're about to abandon your car for 3 months in a space that legally belongs to someone else. And how lucky am I that one of my best friends is that somebody else? Anyway, I gotta go. I'm heading to Europe with my parents. It's a big celebration for their 40th wedding anniversary. My husband's out of town, so I left the kids with his folks. The timing worked out great. I'm about to spend 3 months touring the most scenic locations in Europe. Isn't that awesome? Chelsea, you can't just dump your car in a stranger's spot and leave the country. Sure I can. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. Anyway, my plane's leaving soon, so I gotta grab my bags. I'll talk to you later. Oh, and just so you don't keep bugging me with pointless texts about your parking space, I'm gonna mute you now. Ta-ta! Chelsea, no! There's something I need to tell you. That space isn't ours anymore. We canceled the lease weeks ago. Chelsea! Chelsea, are you reading these? Oh no, she already muted me. Talia, where's my car? What did you do? Well, hello there, Chelsea. Welcome back. Did you enjoy your trip? Don't get cute with me. I just got back from the airport and went to my parking space, but my car was gone. Not moved, not towed, just gone. Where is it? Don't ask me. I have no idea. Liar, you knew I parked it there before I left. You knew I was going overseas. It must have been you. You had it towed somewhere. Admit it. I have no authority to have anyone's car towed from that space, Chelsea. We canceled our lease well before you left for Europe. I told you about it, but you didn't listen. No, you did not. You never said anything about that. Yes, I did. Scroll up. You'll see it. Oh my God. You did tell me. If only you had waited just a few seconds longer to mute me. Why didn't you remind me? Why didn't you make sure I understood? You just let me leave it there like a trap? You blocked me, remember? I couldn't say anything even if I wanted to. Well, you could have emailed me or something, but instead you just stood there and watched as my car got stolen. I didn't watch anything, Chelsea, but if you really want to know what happened, I'll tell you what I heard. What? What happened to my car? Tell me right now. A friend in the area told me that the guy who rented it after us was, well, from a part of society that most people don't want to interact with. The day he came home to find your car in his space, he got a teensy bit upset. So, he got rid of your car. Got rid of it? What's that supposed to mean? Specifically, it means he and his associates took a baseball bat, tire iron, and sledgehammer to it then had it hauled off. What? You mean you allowed my car to get trashed and stolen by some kind of mobster? That's it, I'm coming to your house right now. You don't get to hide behind your smug little text while my car vanishes into thin air. We are settling this face to face. I wouldn't waste your time, Chelsea. We don't live there anymore. What are you talking about? We moved a few weeks ago. Jason got transferred away for work, so we all moved together. You moved? No, that's not possible. You can't just move. I parked my car in your parking space. Once again, that space was already not ours at the time that you illegally parked it there. So what, you just skipped town while I was gone and you didn't say anything? How would I tell you anything? You muted me. You could have emailed me. You could have left a note on the windshield telling that mobster guy not to touch it. You ran away from your responsibilities to me, knowing full well someone else was moving in. Run away? Get over yourself. The move was completely about work and not about you at all. Well, okay, being rid of you was a nice perk, I guess. You abandoned me. You left me to deal with this disaster on my own. It was never my disaster to begin with. You don't get to act like this wasn't your fault. If you'd just watched the damn car like a decent person, none of this would have happened. Chelsea, you parked illegally and then muted me. I don't owe you surveillance. Fine, then give me your new address right now. Not happening. But Kalia, you don't understand. That car I parked there, it's not even mine. It's my husband's. He let me borrow it while he was out of town. I told him I'd take care of it. Then I suggest you explain it to him. Don't you understand what I'm saying? He's going to completely lose it. That car was everything to him. He waxed it every weekend. He bought custom rims. If he finds out I left it in someone else's parking spot and it's not just towed but destroyed. It seems to me like you could have avoided this situation by parking legally. God, stop being so smug. This isn't funny. He's gonna kill me. He already thinks I'm irresponsible. This is gonna confirm every single thing he says about me. I can't afford this right now. Did he really need any more confirmation than he already had? Please, I am begging you. Do you know who took over the lease? Can you at least give me a name, a phone number, anything? No, I told you we ended the lease and moved out of state. Whoever rents it now, I've never met him, thank God. But you said you heard something. You have to know something, please. Even if it's destroyed, I can always get it repaired. But if I can't track it down, I won't even be able to do that. Are you sure you even want to get in contact with that guy? If he's the kind of guy willing to bust up a car when he gets angry, imagine what he'll do to you. I didn't think this would happen. I thought the car would be safe. Well, it wasn't. What am I supposed to tell my husband, huh? Can you tell me that? Now I have to go home and tell him I lost his car. He is never gonna forgive me for this. And that's entirely your problem. Please, don't leave me like this. I'm begging you. I already left. I am halfway across the country right now, so even if I wanted to help you, which I don't, I can't. Talia, please! You really should have moved the car. After all the screaming died down, Chelsea went home to find her house half empty. Her husband had already left, taking their kids, the dishes, even the TV with him. Apparently, the new renter tracked him down in person, furious about the car being parked in his space. Chelsea's husband didn't argue with him. He towed the wreck out of whatever alley it ended up in and scrapped it himself. After that, the neighborhood talked, a lot, about the screaming, the new neighbor, and the woman who left a car in someone else's spot for 3 months. Her husband couldn't take the shame, so he packed up and disappeared. Chelsea's alone now. She lives in a tiny apartment, working a dead-end job on most nights and weekends. Her ex divorced her and demanded $10,000 for the car. She asked her parents for help with the bill, but they turned her down. It's crazy to think that all she had to do to avoid this situation was park the car somewhere else. Or, take the bus or something. Instead, she paid a pretty hefty price for a little convenience.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Ryan, today you're heading out on a business trip, right?
That's right. Why are you asking me about that, though, Gabby? You already saw me leaving the house this morning with my suitcase and everything that I usually take on my business trips, right?
That's true. There wasn't really a serious reason for asking you, actually. I was just making sure there wasn't any changes of plans for you, or you might have to come home earlier or later from that trip. You know, you won't have anything like that coming up, right?
Well, there's never 100% chance that nothing is going to change with my schedule or anything, but I've already arrived at my hotel now and will be staying here for a night or two.
I see now. Well, if that's the case, then I have nothing left to ask. Sorry for asking you something strange like this when you're probably really busy.
Well, it's not a problem, I guess.
Now, you have a good time with that business trip. And good night.
Sure, good night. Ryan, good evening. This is Rick. I'm sorry for getting in touch with you like this so late in the evening. If you're getting in touch with me at a time like this, though, then that means... That's correct. I got invited to go out with your wife tonight. And what did you say back to her? Just as we had talked about the last time we chatted, I said no to her, and then gave her my reason for wanting to break up with her. I made it clear that had I known she was a married woman before, I would have never gone out with her like I had been. Also, in order to get her to stay together with you and not run off, I made sure not to say anything about you during the breakup. All right. Thank you for doing that. You thanking me right now for something like this? I understand that I had no clue at the time, but I still laid my hands on your wife and did things with her that I never ever should have. But the reason you ever did that was because she lied to you and said that she was single. But even still, I am so very sorry for what happened. Don't bother apologizing for it. You actually listened to what I had asked you to do and told her off, saying that you no longer wanted to see her. There's nothing else I'm upset about regarding you, and I don't want anything else from you, so relax. Thank you so much for saying that. And now, until I've gone and finished things up with Gabby, I'm gonna keep your phone number and everything in my phone in case I need to talk with you again. Is that all right? I'll leave whatever you have planned to do up to your discretion. Understood. Then, for the time being, this was all I needed from you. All right. I'm so sorry for causing all this trouble for you, and thank you so much for understanding why this happened and working with me to end it all.
Ryan, I'm sorry. I would like for you and I to get a divorce.
What? What's all of this about?
Good point. To you, none of this probably makes any sense at all and is very sudden for you. But to be honest, I have found myself a new man that I really like.
Huh? What are you trying to say, Gabby? You are my wife, aren't you? So you have to get how crazy what you're saying to me right now is, right?
But there was no helping this. I mean, even he is in love with me.
Who is the man you're talking about right now?
I'm pretty sure if I told you his name, you still wouldn't know him. But his name is Rick, and he's a 23-year-old man.
What?
For a bit he told me that he didn't want to see me anymore because he found out that I was a married woman. But in the end, he came back saying he couldn't forget about me and had to become my husband. Alright? Right now, he really wants for the both of us to get married soon.
Why did things turn out like that?
Tomorrow, I'm being proposed to by him.
Huh? Why do you keep going on and on about your guys' situation like that? You just said that the both of you are already planning on getting married, yet he hasn't actually proposed to you yet?
This is why I want you and I to get a divorce, Ryan.
Hey!
I left all of the divorce papers at the house for you, so please sign them and go hand them in.
Don't tell me that you've already gone and left the house!
I have, though. I have to start preparing for when he proposes to me tomorrow, and that requires me to be divorced from you and out of your house.
Hold on, you need to slow your horses there.
I'm not slowing down for you anymore. I'm sorry. Make sure to hand those divorce papers in before 5 p.m. when the courthouse is said to close.
I'm telling you to hold on, Gabby!
Goodbye, forever.
Ryan, I know it has been a bit since you and I last talked, so I'm sorry, but something really crazy has happened on my end. What the hell am I supposed to do about all this?
Did Gabby come out to you asking to stay at your place?
She did. Just a second ago, she arrived at my apartment and started to ring my doorbell non-stop over and over again. She's still out there, sitting on the ground with some suitcases alongside her. She told me that starting today, her and I would be living together, and that's why she brought most of her things along with her to my place. I can't believe this. Do you have any idea what the hell is going on with her?
She was telling me just a bit ago about how she thinks that you'll be proposing to her soon.
What?
You made sure to tell her that you wanted to break up with her, right?
Of course I did. I've already gone and made sure to delete everything I had about her off my phone. Also, I have myself a girlfriend right now that I'm planning to get married to really soon here.
Wait, you already have another girlfriend and you're planning to marry her already?
I do agree that things have moved very fast between her and I, but I'm being serious when I say that I'm not interested in Gabby anymore. Look, both my parents heard about the situation I was in with Gabby and you, and so they told me that if I really wanted to make things right and show her that I wasn't interested anymore, I'd have to find someone else to make mine. And so I ran into this woman I'm with currently, and after a little while, things developed into a very serious relationship where we're both planning to marry one another.
So that's what happened there.
She happens to understand everything that's happened with me and does not hold any of it against me. That's how open-minded and kind of a person she is. She's the kind of person I want to cherish for the rest of my life. Right now, the both of us are talking about things like our future together in a very serious manner, which means I don't want to go back to some lying woman who never told me about being married to another man.
I see. I believe you, Rick.
Thank you so much.
So how are things going with Gabby right now?
She's still out there sitting on the ground waiting for me. I never answered the door or made any noise, so I think she believes that I'm not home and is waiting for me to come back and see her.
You can go ahead and report this to the police if you want.
What? Are you really okay with me doing something like that to your wife, though?
I'm already working on finishing everything off over on my end, and for the most part, I'm prepared to deal the final blow to her and be done with her. So you don't have to worry about her and my relationship with one another anymore.
Understood.
Hey, Ryan. I'm back home now. Why are all of your things no longer in our house now?
Oh, so you came all the way back to the house?
I sure did. It turns out I was being played by Rick that whole entire time. He invited me all the way out to his place, making it sound like he wanted to get back together with me and all. Yet, all he did was sit in his place acting like he never was home. And then he went and called the freaking police on me. And for that past week since that day, I have been having to go through all sorts of crap. My parents both had to come all the way out to the police station to come and get me, and were pissed. And I was informed that Rick went ahead and had a restraining order placed on me so that I could never go near him or his apartment ever again.
Oh, he got a restraining order on you, did he?
Right? He's such a jerk for doing that, right? He should have been proposing to me then, but instead, all of this had to happen to me.
I have something I'd like to ask you about. What was your reason for thinking that he was actually going to end up proposing to you then?
What?
What you were telling me before is that he left you saying that he never knew before that you were a married woman, right? And then you said something about how he said he could never forget about you and that he'd propose to you. Can you explain to me what your reasoning was behind thinking he'd propose to you?
I saw him going out to buy an engagement ring from the store. It had only been a couple of months since we broke up, and so I assumed that he was buying that ring for me because there was no way he had anyone else to give it to.
And so that's why you just assumed that he'd be wanting to propose to you because in your head that was his only choice? And that's why you left me with our divorce papers and left the house to go to his? You thought that he'd allow you to start living with him at his apartment even though he hadn't spoken to you for months?
He should have wanted to propose to me and let me move in, but for some reason he acted like he wasn't home at the time and never came to answer the door for me. And then for some reason, he called the police on me.
Rick is married to another woman now.
Huh?
Right after he went and broke up with you, he found himself another woman and things started to get hot there. They went on and on about how they both wanted to get married to one another, and just yesterday it seems as though he and she got married at the courthouse.
What?
In other words, when you saw him going out and buying that engagement ring from the store, you saw him buying a ring for that woman he has been wanting to marry.
Hold on a second. Why do you know so much about all of that? I only ever told you Rick's name and his age. Nothing else, right?
You're too soft. It's been months now since I first realized that you'd been cheating on me, and when I first realized that, I made sure to get to work on finding out everything that I could.
No way.
And the one that went and told Rick about how you were a married woman was me.
No way. How could that... You were doing all of that right behind my back?
And it wasn't just Rick you'd been with back then. There were plenty of other men too, right? From what I'd found, you were also with 2 other men who happened to both be married.
What? No, wait. Whatever you found on those 2 other men is wrong, Ryan.
If you'd really like for me to pull out all the evidence I have, there are plenty of pictures of you with them.
Evidence?
Remember, I made sure to start looking into all of your cheating the moment I realized what you were doing behind my back. And so there are plenty of pictures I had taken of you with other men besides just Rick. But it wasn't like I did all that myself, as I never had that much time to follow you around all the time. So I hired a detective.
You went and got yourself a detective?
I had to, because of all the men you were with. I really didn't have the time to be going out and taking all of those pictures while you were with them, and so I made the choice to hire someone else to do that. And man, was that the right choice. Because of him, I now have so much evidence piled up that you will never be able to talk your way out of any of this.
No. How far did you end up looking into things?
The thing that really surprised me when the detective came back with his findings was that in the past there were multiple cases of you stealing other women's boyfriends from them. When it comes to that Rick you'd been with, he was originally a crush of one of your friends, and you wanted to take him from her. The fact that you have a history of stealing men from other women like that has really sealed away the idea that I have of you now.
So you were able to find out about all of that as well?
Man, you really did a good job trying to fool me.
No way. Does this mean for the past week, me not being able to hear anything from both of you has been because...
That's right. Rick and I had been working on talking with all of those men you'd been with, as well as their wives, in order to get settlements from you all.
You have been already doing all of that behind my back.
I have been working towards all of this for months now, Gabby. Now, as for the house situation and why my things are no longer there, I went ahead and transferred jobs within the company and have moved away with my parents in tow. So don't even bother trying to go to my old office or my parents' old house.
What is going on here? What's going to happen to me?
That's a good point. I was just about to get to all of that. To start, my lawyer is going to head out and visit you.
Your lawyer?
He has to be there in order to tell you about the settlement I'll be getting from you thanks to all of that evidence I've gained.
A settlement?
Why are you getting so surprised by all of this? Calm down. Please, you knew all of this would be happening if you were found out after you went and did some of the most unfaithful things known to man.
Ryan, don't you think that the two of us could try one more time being a couple?
Impossible.
That was very immediate.
I was just sending you the reply that anyone would send to you. Now, for one other thing.
There's still more that you're going to tell me about?
Before you got married to me, you were in plenty of debt, right? You went and paid that all off with my savings, correct? And never told me a thing about it.
You knew about that?
That was actually the first thing I noticed you'd done behind my back. It was because of that and me taking a look into why you would do such a thing to me that I found another trail leading to you cheating on me with multiple different men.
No way.
I know this is pretty obvious for me to be saying, but you're gonna pay me back all of that money you used as well.
All of it? Do you have any idea how much I had to pay off? That's right. Let's do this. We can get this divorce, but when it comes to things like having to split our properties half and half, we can just consider the amount I took from you back then as my half, and you can keep everything you have now. Alright? That should be a good solution to all of this, right?
Listen here, Gabby. When it comes to the money I had made and saved up before we got married, it doesn't fall into the same category as our shared properties.
It doesn't?
So give me that money back.
Hold on.
From now on, please talk with my lawyer about whatever else you have to say to me. And make sure to contact him when you have my money ready.
No way.
And as for the divorce papers you left me with a week ago, I already handed them in, signed and all.
I don't have any money, though. You're kidding me, right?
Not at all.
Ryan?
I started to receive call after call from Gabby wanting to talk things over with me again, but when I never did answer a single one of them, she resorted back to texting me. And each one of her texts read, "As long as I go back to you, we don't have to fight anymore, right?" I got so irritated over all of those text notifications that I just blocked her in the end. Unfortunately, both of those wives from the two other men she'd been cheating on me with have started asking her for a settlement, and she's trying even harder now to get back to me, thinking I'll be able to take care of that for her. I told my lawyer to go to her and explain that even if she was able to get back together with me, I would keep all my bank accounts closed from her so that she could never lay her hands on my money ever again, which caused her to break down crying. Eventually, it became impossible for my lawyer to even hold a simple conversation with Gabby without her breaking down, and so he got in touch with both of her parents, and they kindly paid me the settlement I'd asked for. Currently, Gabby is out in the middle of nowhere working on a farm where she's also being forced to live, making whatever money she can to pay her parents back with. However, even at that farm, she's been trying to get with the owner of the place, and when his wife found out about that, a whole new mound of problems started to form. She'll most likely be kicked off that farm pretty soon here, and will have to find other work where she can make some money to pay off all of that debt to her parents.
Grace, have you already submitted the divorce papers? Yes, mother-in-law. No, wait. You're no longer my mother-in-law, and honestly, I don't want to call you that. So for now, I'll just refer to you as Bridget. Do as you please. So, when are you moving out? I expect you to be gone before Sandra and I return from dinner. Because if you're not, I'm going to have a few things to say about you right then and there. I've already packed my things. Right now, I'm just waiting for the car to pick me up. Oh, really? You've been married to my son for 30 years, and during all that time, I heard that you had no family left. But I guess you do have a friend who can come pick you up. What a surprise. So, what time are you leaving? I'll be gone from this house in 30 minutes. I see. Just remember, if you're still here even a minute past that, I will throw you out without hesitation. You don't need to worry about that. I'm just as eager to leave this place as you are. I'm actually already outside the front door. What? Wait a second. Are you saying you're outside the door with all your luggage? It's raining right now. Yes, it is, but I'm glad there's a roof over the entrance. How long have you been out there? I've been out there for about 15 minutes now. What did you just say? At least stay inside the entrance. You'll get strange looks from the neighbors. Well, at this point, that's the least of my concerns. It's already well known around here that there's a wicked mother-in-law who loves to bully her daughter-in-law. What? Not to mention, you've also dumped the care of Xander and our great aunt onto me, forcing me to do all of the household chores. Then once that caregiving was over, you kicked me out and made sure I got divorced from your son. Everyone knows about it. What? Did you really not know any of this? Grace, how could you? You spread such outrageous lies about me out of spite for the divorce. I think you're misunderstanding the situation. I haven't done anything wrong. What? Let's be honest. Your commands and insults are incredibly loud. It seems the neighbors picked up on that, and it spread from there. What are you talking about? It seems like your ride is about to arrive. I'll wrap this message up right now. I'll leave the keys in the mailbox. Wait a minute. I met Xander when I was 23. We were both the same age and had an arranged marriage. And now, after 30 years, here I am. I've also been living with your family for the same length of time. I must say, I've endured a lot. Grace, just a moment. Before you leave, at least tell the neighbors that I didn't bully you or anything like that. You need to wait because I'll be home soon. I've already gotten into the car that's come to pick me up. What? What's going on here? Grace! Hey, I just passed the car you got into. What's up with that luxury vehicle? How could someone like you, who has been a stay-at-home wife for 30 years, possibly afford to ride in such an expensive car? You've received only a small amount from the division of assets, barely enough to cover your basic living expenses for time being. What is happening? What does this mean? Grace, you need to explain this to me right now.
Grace, good morning.
Good morning, Xander.
You were right not to tell Mom about your grandfather.
I'm glad I didn't. The last thing we needed was for her to worry about that, on top of everything else.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't expect that at all, but it did leave me feeling a bit relieved.
Well, sometimes surprises can be good, right? But how are you holding up? Is everything okay on your end?
For the most part, yes. I mean, it's been a whirlwind, but I'm managing. It's just a bit surreal to think about everything that has just happened, but at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
I understand. Just hang in there for a little while longer. We only have 3 months to go. After 3 months, Carter will be retiring from his overseas assignment, and he'll be bringing his family back home with him.
Right, and when he's back, everything should start changing for the better. It's comforting to know that your mother's plans will be turned upside down.
Exactly. It's only a matter of time now. Just a little patience is all we need. Until then, we'll keep our heads down and focus on what's important.
Absolutely. Xander!
Mom, what is it?
What is going on here?
What do you mean?
Why is Carter's luggage arriving at our house? Carter has moved overseas with his family and has been living there for over 10 years.
Wait, did I not mention that I heard from him? He's coming back today along with his belongings.
What?
Hey, Mom, have you forgotten your own brother's age? There's more than a decade difference between you two, so at least try to remember his age.
What does his age have to do with this?
Carter is 65 years old, right?
Ah, a retirement age.
I've heard him say before that he planned to live in America after retiring.
This year was the year he was supposed to return, and he mentioned it during his visit at New Year's.
Exactly. During that visit, he even gave us a schedule. Since then, that schedule has been stuck on the fridge door, and we all agreed to follow it. Right? It's been there the whole time. I thought you were just being overly casual about things, but you seriously did nothing at all?
I can't believe it.
Not believing it doesn't change anything. You were the one who suggested using the fridge as a message board.
Wait a second.
You know, you often complain that I'm out and about all the time, so I don't get to my messages. I get your texts and read them, but somehow I don't manage to reply.